Welcome to Tush Twins, heard exclusively on Malcolm Presents. Tush Twins is a streaming platform heard round the world and beyond. In fact, it's even heard in New Jersey. Would
Oh
you
my
Yeah,
believe?
God.
and that's where they're having some fires in New Jersey now.
Because it's
Yeah,
not nice to fool Mother Nature.
right. The Tush twins.
Anyway,
We
let me
go,
introduce
we go,
myself.
go, we go global, right,
Let
Tush?
me introduce
Yes,
myself.
we
I'm
do.
Malcolm Berman, your host, with my co-host, the redhead,
Hold on a
Paula.
minute. It's the Tush twins. We are the hosts. You're the co-host. What are you talking-
No,
What's the name of the show?
Malcolm presents
Malcolm Presents.
Right,
the
but the name of the show is the Tush twins.
Tush Twins.
Tush twins. That means the Tushes are
Okay,
tushing.
I'll tell you what. I won't do the show at all. From now on, you could do it
Okay.
and send it to me.
Yeah, I can't wait. That and a dollar will get you zero places. It's like nowhere fast.
They're gonna do away with the dollar now. First they
Dollars
did with the penny.
dollars sinking. I don't know, man.
And
I'm gonna have to get
sinking.
euros. I'm gonna have to get euros. It's gonna cost me money.
Oh, it's gonna be expensive going to Europe.
Can't wait. I don't know. Don't know.
Anyway, what else is new?
Well, there's a lot of things. It's as the Reddit said, it's Earth Week,
It's Earth Week.
Earth Month actually. April starts Earth Month, and we really should have Earth Month and Earth Day every day because
Well, you should have the Earth year.
no, it's just that we shouldn't be messing up the Earth. I mean, it all started, in 1970, and it all started.
And we were there.
A lot of we were there, and Rachel Carson wrote Silent Spring about the dangers of DDT, and now today we have to get rid of Roundup, which is just as bad. So what has changed for the better? And now the EPA regulations are being cut and slashed, and people in the department are being cut and slashed. And cut and slash seems to be, slash and burn. That's the term they use now, right, Malcolm?
Yeah.
Slash and burn. Yeah, well, we're gonna be burning. I don't know. I'm gonna give a sh
Burn, baby, burn.
So there's
You
a
still
lot. I
gonna
mean,
burn.
I wrote an article a few years ago about music. I think music is very much part of protest, and right now it's just there's not enough protest songs around. Doesn't
Yeah,
seem
well,
to.
I don't know, but you were a little young, but I grew up in the protest era.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what we did too.
we
Yep.
shall overcome.
Right.
It's a big
Yes, we
civil
sang
rights.
that. And then we also sang, well, it's one, two, three. What are we fighting
Yeah.
for?
And
Hell, I won't give a
don't give a
damn.
damn. Next stop is
Next stop is
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
But I go back,
Yep.
yeah.
Then 5, 6, 7, open up the pearly gates. Oh, there ain't no use in wonder why. Whoopee, we all gonna die. Yeah, well now this is happening from within.
Mm-hmm.
See, the scary part is, we're supposed to uphold the Constitution against enemies foreign and domestic. Um, this is happening domestically, which has never happened before
Well,
here,
it's the enemies in the White House.
you know. So, but anyway, so so we have Earth Day and Earth Month, and people, some of the protests last weekend were not only protests, but they were climate marches. So people were there also for the climate. Like they were there for everything. You name it, they were there. And everyone was going, oh, it's just a bunch of old people over 60 showing up. And it was like, yeah, because we showed up in the 60s.
Then we showed
It's
up
like,
then and we're still showing up. And
right.
shame on the young people that do not
Yeah,
care.
right. That's the problem. I mean, it's their world. If they don't, we're protesting with with our kids and grandkids now, and you're E's godmama. I mean, it's a thing. It's important, and you have, great niece. You have great
And
nephew.
nieces, nephews.
You are nephews. It's boys. It's boys
Mm-hmm.
in your
Little
family.
boys. Yes, it
And
is.
recently my neighbors, uh, they had boys too. It seems to be boys. What's going on with the boys here? And
It's
it'll be.
raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining
I don't
men.
know.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I'm not sure I'll go hallelujah, but if there's
Maybe
no
this.
girls born, there won't be any boys born again. So, that's the problem. But it's just at this point, you're trying to find a little joy
Yeah,
somewhere.
what statistics I read? I think there are 8 billion people in the
Hmm.
world, 8
Hmm.
billion in numbers, and there are 8 billion mothers, and there's 8 billion feet mothers, and
8 billion mothers out of
who
8
gave
billion people, that's
yeah,
impossible.
who gave birth? 8 million females
Oh,
gave birth, but there was no
yes,
males
that
that gave birth.
that's true.
Yeah,
Yes, the eight. Yes, very good point, Malcolm. Touche.
Touche.
That's a that's a good point. I
As we
like
said,
that point.
excellent.
tushy.
Tushy. If the Tush twins give you a touche. But because that's true. 8 billion mothers.
We're the Tush twins, and you're
8
the
billion
Touche.
people, 8 billion mothers.
Yeah.
I like that. I really do.
Anyway, the sad news of the week was that Pope
Pope
Francis
Brent,
passed away.
right. He was a
Yes,
really good man. He was a very good man.
progressive and gentle,
And
and
wanted
he
just could,
cleaned
Well, he was
the
humble. He
Vatican.
didn't. He was like very Jesus-like.
right.
Yeah,
But he brought everyone in, no
Oh yeah,
one
he was
was
inclusive.
inclusive. He was inclusive, and he wanted, make sure the poor had, didn't go hungry, and that, whatever your belief
Yeah,
is, you
yeah.
you should have that belief.
I just thought if there's anyone that should be sainted, it would be him. But I don't know what
without a doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
he
I don't
was
know
a
what the policy is
wonderful
to become
pope.
a
We're
saint.
very lucky. I'm
yeah,
not
very
Catholic,
pro-environment, very
but he
pro-environment.
was, yeah,
So Earth Day salutes him and Earth Month
yes.
because
Pro
Who's
environment,
who's going to be
pro
the next
women.
pope, Max?
I don't know. This is a good question. So I just want to go over one thing that's kind of funny. What did you
Should I
ever
show
you
you?
visited the Vatican, right? Did you? Oh God. Oh God, help me. I don't know why. I would throw the phone into the river if I had that on my phone.
He's going to put that in the White House.
I don't know. He has all this gold stuff. They said it makes Liberace's room look like nothing. He put all these gold things up all over the Oval Office. Oh my
He's
God.
so whack.
Whack isn't the word. But so you went to the Vatican, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you saw, the amount of wealth and the amount of art and the amount,
Yes, I
Da
did.
Vinci, all the stuff is beautiful. Sistine
Yes.
Chapel, I've been there twice.
Somehow.
It was amazing. And then
Yes.
somehow I went there when he was in school. We visited Rome. We went to the Vatican. And we were all looking around, just following the crowds to all the rooms and all the places. Then all of a sudden, we kind of veered off with this tour group that we were not part of. And it was like students
Yeah.
coming from I don't know where. And we followed them around in stairs and upstairs. We had no idea where we were going. We wound up in the room where the dead popes are.
Oh,
I said, okay. And John Paul had recently passed. So there was like a vigil there. And they're all on the floor, they're all doing the cross, they're all saying things, and my husband and my son are having an argument over healthcare. They have no idea where they really are. The security guard, it was like an episode of The Simpsons with Bart and Homer. That's all I can say.
oh,
Pretty much. And I'm like, I finally, and then so the guard is there, and the guy goes, shh. He kept going, shh. And I'm like, then I see them doing the prayers or whatever, and I'm going, I literally run. He goes, no run. He goes, get them out of here. He tells me, you know them? Get them out of here. So I'm like, I go over to him and I go like, what are you doing? These are all the popes. There's John Paul over there. We got to get out of here. I don't even know how we got in here. I don't even know we were allowed to be in there because we weren't
probably
really
not.
with that group. And I'm like, okay. And they're having a discussion about healthcare. And I'm like, okay. I literally grab them. I grab them and I go, get out, get out. And we go down this. We didn't know where we were. We were like lost in the Vatican. So we finally got down to the first floor and it was like, I was like, you've got to be kidding me, boys. Seriously kidding me. And that was my Vatican adventure with my family. I was like,
I will tell you my Vatican adventure. We went through the to the Vatican, and then we go to the Basilica. We
Hmm.
go in. I see them looking at the sky top, and you see with Jesus and
Yeah, yeah.
whatever, all these
Hmm.
beautiful paintings all over the place. Then all of a sudden, we hear bells ringing, and we go, okay, and we see a procession marching in. You can't leave. You can't leave during, it was some sort of holiday that day. For an hour and a half, we were stuck in the basilica on the floor, sitting on the
Unbelievable.
floor watching, and it was like 90 degrees in there. It was
Right.
beautiful to watch, but oh my God, when all of us that got stuck in there went, Jesus Christ.
Of all things, you're stuck.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God,
That was appropriate.
They
yeah.
all, we were
Oh,
the only, I was the only Jew.
oh
And
God.
they're all going, Jesus Christ, this is
I, I,
ridiculous.
I
We were
just,
all
I mean,
dying. I
yeah, that's
just sat
crazy. I
there
mean,
with
that's this,
Dennis,
yeah, the
just sitting there
Sistine
looking at
Chapel.
the pan,
Yeah, yeah. The
looking at
Sistine
the
Chapel
pan.
is pretty amazing.
It was, so I didn't
So,
mind it. It was just
so
hot.
you can visit the papal tombs, when you're there, but really they don't really say much about it. I guess you have to kind of know that it's a thing to do,
Hmm.
and you have to
How,
plan
how many
it.
how many popes were
Yeah.
there?
How many I don't know. I don't know. And Pope John the 23rd is in a glass coffin. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh no.
Dick,
Oh,
sorry.
oh man. Uh
No, thank you.
They,
yeah.
they, they preserved him?
I Pope John
This Pope does
23rd.
not want to be in the tombs there with them. He wants to be outside somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He doesn't
Mhm.
want to be. He wants to be buried simply and
Actually, he
not,
Yeah,
wanted to be cremated.
you know, did
I'm
he?
kidding.
No way.
no,
They
oh
wouldn't
God.
allow that.
No.
Yeah, they have, yeah, he's supposed to, I mean, I don't have the article, but yeah, I think I heard about that too.
Yeah,
But then Malcolm tells me, he goes,
I tell you?
when we were on the phone earlier, you
Oh,
go, well,
oh,
what are the odds? There's odds in Las Vegas as who's going to be the next pope. And by the
yeah.
way, Jimmy Kimmel did a thing on the Pope who I thought 2 days ago was in the running, and it was Joe, it was, I have to kind of laugh even when I say this, but it's,
you tell us his name.
his Cardinal Pier Battista Pizza or Pizzaballa, but it's pronounced, it's Pizza. It's P. So here in the States we go Pizza Baller. What
Pizza
kind of name
ball.
is this?
Yeah.
And Kimmel did a whole riff on that, and he specializes in like Middle East, had to deal with issues in the Middle East and such, and he's one of the younger ones, if not the youngest one, and it's so they had Chat GPT um said that they had a prediction that it would be who would succeed Pope Francis, and they said Peter Erdo would do it, be the one. But now the the popes are saying that it's not him. It's going to be the other dude, which now displaced Mr. Pizza Balla. The favorite
I
is
love pizza balls. I
the
love
favorite
pizza.
the favorite is Cardinal Pietro Parolin. Um,
Pietro Carolyn.
he's the Vatican's top diplomat, and he's 70. Pizza Baller is 60. He's
Yeah.
too young. They want someone older.
I don't
And
get that. Why did anyone ever see the show The Young Pope with Jude Law?
no, I heard it was very good.
It was excellent, beyond excellent. Jude Law was amazing in this.
Yeah,
And he was like in his 40s when he became
Maybe
Pope.
they'll make him Pope.
Well,
I
he
don't
was
know.
good
It just
looking.
Because I heard you don't have to be, part of the clergy to be,
right. Some people were nominating Stephen Colbert because he's a devout Catholic. He
I,
is.
yeah,
And Pope Francis loved the comedians in that they made people laugh and smile and invited a lot of them last year
that was, there
to
was a
to
show, Whoopi
you know
Goldberg. said on
well,
the show,
no,
but
they
yes,
invited a whole
they were
ton of
like
comedians, all the late night, I mean, Jimmy Fallon, Steve Colbert,
they were all
yeah,
together.
they
Like
were
I
all
think there were like
together.
100
Chris
comedians.
Rock, yeah, Whoopi Goldberg, yeah, they just had like these amazing comedians, and he was thanking them for bringing laughter into
Left
the
into the
world.
world.
That's amazing to me.
That is amazing.
Isn't that amazing that they all got to meet him? I think Jim Gaffigan was there. I think uh, there's
Yeah,
a
but
whole bunch of them.
what was really heartwarming is the way he reacted to kids. And
Yeah.
I don't know
Yes.
if you've been watching some of the news clips, the last few days, but he loved children. I mean, he would be like, doing something formal, and some kid would come up, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old would come up on the stage or the
Hmm.
platform, and other people were trying to get him away. And he said, no, no, no. And he would grab the kid, put him on his lap, or put him in
Yeah.
a chair next to him.
Right. Right. That's amazing. But
It
the
was,
And he also changed the way people saw the priesthood
well,
because
now
they had
that
a lot of those scandals,
he and he
sexual smells, and he
yeah,
stopped
yeah.
it.
Well, yeah, he tried to, but it
Yeah.
they're
But
going now more conservative. They're gonna look for somebody more conservative, and I don't think our guy,
pizza
Pizzaballa,
ball,
Pizzaballa was in that mix because they really want someone conservative, much more conservative. And this Cardinal Pietro Parolin's conservative. The number two guy, Luis Antonio Tagle. Oh, he's 67. He's a younger one, but
oh,
he's
he's
from the
young.
he's from the Philippines. But and he also focuses on kindness, inclusion, and get. So he's. I mean, I don't know. The
Hands
ones
out.
that they're looking for are. I think they're looking for more conservative
probably.
values, church
But
values.
what I would suggest, if you haven't seen it, see the movie Conclave.
Yeah, well, now they said they can't even like so many people are watching it now. They're saying like it's off the charts.
Yeah.
They said
Really?
I don't know how many minutes of screening time. It was like absurd. They never, you know, th
Yeah, I'd
thought
say.
that. Yeah, so
I mean, the
I mean,
timing is perfect
I'd
for
like
it.
to watch it, but Les doesn't want to watch it because he used to treat a lot of the nuns in Mount St. Vincent
I remember that.
for about 30 years. And
Mhm.
he knew all the sisters, and he knew the Mother General and the tops, all of them, and they all every Christmas and Hanukkah they prayed for us. They would give us gifts. They would pray that he, be healthy to be a good doctor and stuff. I mean, they were,
I pray for you too, Max.
yeah, I pray for you too.
Yeah,
Live
actually, guys,
long and prosper.
both of us, you need my prayers.
We all need
Well,
prayers
yeah.
now. I mean, at this point, I just don't know what's going on in this crazy world. But so they actually have odds in Las Vegas, and you can bet on this. You can
Yeah,
bet on,
mhm.
you know, right, two cockroaches are running. Who's gonna win? It's like they'll bet on
Dennis.
anything, right? Yeah, I know. That was the big joke we used to have with Dennis. If two chickens are running, who's gonna be the one to win? I mean, I just don't know. It's just crazy.
Well, now you can just pick up the phone and make a bet.
Yeah. Well, you can
Yeah,
go
there's
on
no more bookies anymore.
bookies. Oh yeah, how come the bookies no one said about them losing their job?
They all, you know what?
They all lost their job.
Good job.
Now
Yeah,
it's like
I knew.
Caesars and all the other ones. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah, but they used to do they said they cried for the bookies when they had the betting system, off-track betting.
The betting system.
In New York, they had,
Right.
I forget what it's called. Well, but it was off-track,
OTB.
OTB,
OTB?
Oh, off-track betting.
off-track
Yeah,
betting.
we bet on off-track betting. Remember,
Oh,
of
yes,
course.
we did.
Bye
And I bet
Skipper.
on it a lot. Bye bye,
Buy a
Skipper. Bye a
nose.
nose.
Buy a nose. So
Well,
yeah.
I think I told the story. There was a time when I was in film, and there was a slow period. So a friend of mine had a cleaning store in Jamaica, Queens. And he said, well, hey, I need someone in my job store. It wasn't cleaning. It was a store where I just took in the laundry, and
hmm
someone picked it up and they brought it back and I racked it up. So I said, okay. So for a month I was doing that. And there was a bookie that walked up and down the streets.
Oh God.
So what I would do is I'd get there's this the telly was a paper that was
The
all
te
horse races.
the telly?
Yeah, I think it's the Daily Telegram,
Oh, the
and it was called
telly.
the telly,
Not
and
the Tilly, Ethel to Tilly. Okay.
and it goes to all the
Apple to
tracks,
chili,
and you would
apple
go, I
to
think, at
chili.
Aqueduct, and I would go to Aqueduct or
Right.
Belmont, and it had had all the tracks. It had every race. It said what this horse did, first
What
race
they
that
ate for
he did,
breakfast. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I
what he
know.
had for breakfast,
Yeah.
the quarter mark, blah blah blah. So every day I would come in the morning by the telly, uh, handicap, I think it was 9 races. The bookie would come down the street. I'd give him my bet. I think I
Oh
just
my.
bet, yeah, it was 2 and 2. I
Oh
mean,
God.
like two to win, two to place.
Hmm.
And in the afternoon, they had on, I think it was WNEW radio, they had Julius LaRosa.
Ah, I
I
remember
remember
Julius
Julius.
And
Rosa. Hmm.
Julius LaRosa would, every day at the end of the race or during the race, they would go to the track and there was an announcer doing, and he would do the race. And there, and
And
the
they broke, and they're off,
no,
and they're going down the first
I
split.
am
Right.
forgetting his name, but it would be there's one track announcer, and the crowd is getting closer to the rail,
Mm.
and that can mean only one thing. It is now post time.
I just I used to go my my Uncle Sonny, may he rest in peace. He was a gambler on the horses, on the dogs, on anything. I can't imagine what he'd be doing today. He'd be in every freaking betting service that they have. And he would take us to the Pompano Beach racetrack in Florida. Those were
Yeah,
the trotters.
Buggers.
Right. And I remember he would say, "Who do you want? Who do you want?" He showed me like, the race sheet, and I would look, I like the name,
You remember
And
that? Yeah.
That's the only way to bet.
that's chocolate ice cream's running. I want that horse. And he goes, "How much you want to bet?" I go, "Well, I only have $2." He goes, "Look, I'll give you $5. I couldn't go. I was too young." He goes, "I'll put it. You want that? I'll give you $5." And I actually won on one of the horses, and I don't even remember the name was. I thought so ice cream comes to my, I don't know. I don't know if it was called Big Vanilla, some
Big
name,
vanilla.
or something like that. And I actually won. He would he
And there were 2 horses I used to bet all the time. One was called King Malcolm,
Oh,
Well,
okay.
and the other was Mr. Mal.
Okay,
Mr.
that makes
Mao.
sense.
They would come and I bet them. I didn't care
Well,
what
And
they
I
did.
still bet on the prettiest horse. And when I went up, remember Monmouth Racetrack?
sure.
So we go and we see Doug and Jill, and I would go look at the horses first before they race. And the guy looks at me, it's like a 20 to 1. And he
Hmm.
goes to me, "Why are you taking that horse?"
Right.
He's like Gold Factory on. I
Mm.
say he's pretty. He's gonna win. He's the prettiest of all the horses. I come back and he sees me and starts laughing. I said, "I told you he was the prettiest."
So
And
what
so
happened?
everyone, I won.
You won a 20 to 1
I
shot.
won.
Wow. Good for
Well,
you.
I
I
tell you,
won.
there's nothing as exciting in any of the sports is when you bet on a race and they're in the stretch
Hmm.
and your horse is like, third or fourth, and he goes to the outside and he starts charging.
Right. Just to
And all,
watch it
and
is
all of a
cool.
sudden
Yeah.
he's third,
Right.
and all of a sudden he's
And he's
second,
Right.
second.
and all of a sudden he's challenging the leader, and you're
Mm.
screaming your bloody head
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's exciting. I had
It
a
really
friend.
is.
It's crazy. I had a friend of mine. I used to go in when I went into travel for 20 years into the city from up here. Um, and we had a crew. There was like 4 to 6 of us who took the same train. We knew each other for all those years. We went out together sometimes. We became like friendly. And one of these guys, Lou, who was a trust and estates lawyer, I'm not even,
I
I
remember
don't even know
him.
if he's still at Lou. And he he would have the telegram, he would have the horse newspaper, and his wife would say, "I always want you to bet on the horse that's gray, the color gray." like the great. So he'd be looking and looking, and he'd be betting. He'd be writing down. And then also on this was the boxing aficionado Bert Sugarman. He was part of our
Yeah.
crew. And he would talk to Lou. He was a major, like, also Yankee fan, a lot of fans. And my friend Evan, whose dad was the music who did the music for all the Mel Brooks pictures, and he was an orchestrator. He orchestrated for The Lion King. And my friend Maggie was a lawyer. We had like this crazy crew. We would always sit in a little office. We try to get like the office with the four seats, right? And it was quite a time with us. And the conductors knew who we were pretty much, and they kind of left us alone. Luckily there wasn't a quiet car back then because we'd be thrown out because we would just laugh like and crack up. And Bert would tell his stories, these boxing stories, and then he would go, literally, he'd get off and then Evan would see him at the bar at, 9 o'clock in the morning or something at one of and I'm like, Bert. He goes, what are you doing? He goes, I'm getting coffee. He said I would get coffee. And we all went, sure, you're
Yeah.
getting coffee. A coffee martini, but that didn't exist then. But yeah, it's like the racing is a whole other ball game. I mean, we were up in Saratoga, and now we're supposed to go up to a family event up there, and I couldn't get a hotel room because there's a Travers race that weekend, or one of the Travers races, a huge race,
Yeah. Yes,
and
big, big
and
time.
Fish, the group Fish,
Hmm.
is having a 3-day bonanza up
Concert.
there. So you're gonna have the fish heads and the racing dudes and the racing, and a lot of the racings are, the very boop 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 boop, the hats and the thing, it's a wealthy class of people, who own the horses. And Bobby Flay has, horses up there. He's into racing now, the chef, and we couldn't book a hotel room for
Well,
40-mile radius of Saratoga Springs.
well, I mean, when I was betting, and I used to bet like basically football games, basketball games, and horse races. But the thing is, with with basketball and football, you had to wait like an hour, or an hour and a half before the game ended because
Oh yeah, well, sure.
because
Football sometimes 4.5, 5 hours.
right for basic,
Same with the baseball. Yeah. Oh my God, I
but
know.
for horse
Well,
racing, you place your bet, it's over in 2, 3 minutes. You know if you
yep.
won or lost, and you go to the next race. And you start all over again. You have the thing, you handicap. Okay, this horse ran in Division Two, and you would look to see something that would be if it was set up. Like if you
Right.
see a new jockey came on to ride it.
Right. Always you look at the jockey, right? I mean,
Right.
I mean, what do you look at? What are the tenets of you looking at when you're betting? The
Well, the
jockey, how
jockey's
many
butt.
wins? I mean,
Yeah, you look at the time that he ran, the horse ran. You look at
Yeah.
the competition that he
what
ran
about the
in.
other races? Is there any like history?
Yeah, they
Like,
have the history of from the time that the horse was born.
hmm,
They have the history of his entire life.
really?
And the ones who there's a guy people call touts, and the tout basically their profession is to handicap horse racings, and they give it to people who are high rollers.
Oh,
In other words, they'll give
I'll give
they'll handicap the race, and then they'll have a group of people that they'll say, okay, my thing is you should bet so and so and so and so, and
right.
then if they win, the tout gets a percentage of the winning.
Oh,
But
interesting.
what they do is they go to the track early in the morning
Hmm.
and they see the
They
horses wake
watch
up
everything. Yeah.
because a horse is a lot like a person. You wake up one day and you have a headache and you feel lousy and your stomach
And
hurts.
you go, oi,
You go,
oi,
boy, and your back hurts and
Oi,
not your day.
oi.
Horses are the
oi,
same.
oi.
They wake up in the morning and they're good and they don't train well. The tout knows exactly how the horse felt, whether he had diarrhea.
Oh, great. Thanks for
I
that
mean,
Yeah.
example.
literally.
Yeah.
So, oh, I wonder what the smell is on that
Yeah.
racetrack.
It's
Yeah, I don't
stinky
know.
poopy.
It's a stinky poopy. But yeah.
Anyway, guys, you realize
Oh man.
our time is up.
Is it?
Oh,
That was quick. Wow,
yes.
between horse races and
Cool.
popes and Earth Day, yeah. Fine, fun stuff. Fun. Peace out in America.
Wife's Day, yeah.
Wife.
Anyway,
All right.
Birthday.
Take care of Mother Earth because
well,
we got
I
that
like,
we
before
got
we go, I like to say happy birthday to the original Quaff.
yes, I posted somebody I got a thing
I post,
I got a notification on Facebook. It would be Ruthie's 106th birthday today. Um
mhm,
this
I
is
posted something.
this is Mom.
Yeah,
yeah,
Did you see?
yep,
yeah.
There you go.
beautiful.
She's the
And
queen
it's
of effing
also,
everything. I didn't
and
speak to
now we
Abby
have a new
yet.
one. It's, yeah, I sent her something just
I
before.
texted her, but
It's
I didn't call her
Quaff
yet.
#2. She took over. It
Yeah,
should be me, but
I know.
I bow down.
I
I
just
could bow
called her
down to my Abby.
the
The
queen.
Queen.
Yes.
But
Abby is the
yeah,
second in
the
charge. Now
second
she
queen and
eclipsed
effing everything. So
everything.
Anyway,
she
guys.
did.
Anyway, Paul, be careful with the fires.
Yeah, she's
Yes, I
okay.
mean, I'm
It's not.
fine.
It's
Nothing
lower.
near
It's more
me.
south.
It's
It's more towards Atlantic.
yes.
It's towards the
And
ocean.
post, yeah, it's
Southeast.
right by Barnegat in that area. But
Yeah.
it's supposed to be pouring on Saturday, so it should wash a
Well, that
lot of
should be
that away.
nice.
I'm supposed to go to a two Earth Day events, one Saturday, one Sunday. I don't know. Saturday weather isn't
Sunday's
looking
gonna be
good.
beautiful. Sunday's gonna be gorgeous. So
I'm not
I
standing in
mean,
the rain, that I can say.
Our Earth is crying.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
But
guys, peace be
all
with
right.
you. Have a good week.
peace be with
See you
you.
next
Peace
week.
out, folks.
Bye.
Peace out. Love
Tush
ya.
rules, tush rules, tush
Push
rules.
through.